All right, everyone, welcome back to Operation 36. This is week number 2 of the spring season. You're going to notice that I have a different coach here standing with me, Coach Arnie, instead of Coach Nick. Coach Nick has taken a different position, promotion, some may say. Some may not say, because he's not working with the juniors anymore. But we have bright and sunny Coach Arnie here, one of the most cheerful coaches we have on our team. Coach Arnie, maybe give a little background about yourself here for the folks at home.
Yeah. So I'm Coach Arnie. A lot of the students know me. I've been here for a little bit now. I'm one of the assistant golf professionals here, and I'm fortunate enough to be part of this team. And I'm just really excited to teach some junior golf out here and get more people involved with the game itself.
Most definitely. So, like I just said, we are in week 2. Week 2 means what, Arnie?
Grip. We're working on grip today.
We're working on grip. So with grip, we are in levels 3 and 4 for this video. So we are going to be going over a weak grip, a neutral grip, and a strong grip. So Coach Arnie, why don't we head up to the camera here? We're going to kind of show you guys at home what these grips look like. We're going to kind of describe how you can manipulate your hands on the club to achieve these grips. And then we're also going to talk about what these different grips are going to do for each person's shot shapes. So Coach Arnie, do you want to start with a weak grip or a strong grip?
You know, we'll start with a weak grip right here.
We're going to start with the weak grip. So Coach Arnie, we're going to talk about a leading hand and our trail hand here. And that's how we're going to describe it. Why don't you describe how we're going to hold the club for the weak grip?
You got it. So I'm going to start with my lead hand, which is my left hand in this scenario here. I'm going to have my fingers go under, and I'm going to be seeing maybe a knuckle to half a knuckle on this side. Then I'm going to take my trail hand, which is my right hand. I'm going to place it right on top, where now I'm seeing about 2 to, if you're flexible enough, 2.5 knuckles here.
Very nice. So kind of like Coach Arnie just said, our lead hand is going to be a little more underneath the club, while our trail hand is going to be a little bit more over top of the club for the weak grip. Now, Coach Arnie, when we have a weak grip, what is this going to do to our shot shape here?
Typically, it's going to have, well, not typically, it's going to have a fade. It's going to have a cut, which is going to go from left to right.
Yeah. So what are some of the situations maybe on course or when we're practicing that we may use this for?
You know, let's say we got a dog leg right and there's not much room to go dead straight, and you do have to curve it a little bit. You have the chance now to manipulate the ball a little better and have more control. On top of that, a fade in this scenario typically has more control when you actually land it on the green. So you're going to have a little more control in your approach shots here.
Very nice. Now, Coach Arnie, that was our weak grip. Why don't we go to our neutral grip, and we're going to work up towards that strong grip. So what is the difference in our grip here between the weak and neutral grip?
So again, it's the weak grip on your lead hand, or my left hand here. I'm going to have showing more knuckle now comparing to my weak for my neutral. So my neutral grip, I'm going to be seeing a knuckle to about a knuckle and a half right here on my left hand, which is my lead. Now I'm going to take my trail hand, my right hand, I'm going to land it onto here. And again, we're not doing anything extreme because this is the neutral. And we're going to be seeing to about a knuckle to a knuckle and a half again on this one.
Very nice. So kind of like Coach Arnie said here, we're going to kind of go from seeing maybe no knuckles on our lead hand to seeing a knuckle to a knuckle and a half. What is this going to do to our shot shape here, Arnie?
Well, it's neutral. So in a perfect world, we're going to be hopefully hitting this ball pretty darn straight from here. You know, and it should be, again, a very consistent swing from there because we're not doing much manipulation to it. It should just be smooth and steady.
Very nice. Now, Arnie, we went over our weak. We went over our neutral. Our last one is going to be our strong grip. What are we doing here?
Again, we're going to start with our lead hand, which is my left hand. I'm going to say it each time and every time. I'm going to now take my hand, go over. And again, we're exaggerating this a little extreme here so you guys can see it better. I'm going to be showing 2 to maybe even 2.5 knuckles for that strong grip. Then I'll take my right hand, which is my trail hand, and she's going to be tucked up under here a little bit more now. And I'm not going to be really seeing any knuckle to maybe half a knuckle.
All right. So, Arnie, the weak grip was more of a fade, right?
Yeah.
The neutral is more straight. So that only leaves us with one option, which is
a draw.
A draw.
Which is a right to left right there.
All right. Very nice. So Coach Arnie, why don't we go over here and why don't we show them that?
Yeah,
So we already have our strong grip here. So why don't you demonstrate the strong grip first?
Absolutely.
So while you're putting your hands on there, kind of describe what you're doing again.
Absolutely. So I'm going to take my lead hand and I'm going to be having it so I can see more knuckles involved, and I'm going to have my palm going more towards the top of the club on top of it here. Then I'm going to take my trail hand. I'm going to have her slide right under where, again, I'm not seeing much knuckles at all.
Very nice. Just a slight little draw there. Really good contact. Did you like the feel of that grip?
You know, I'm not a huge fan of the strong grip.
Okay.
It definitely feels like, you know, when, for me personally, because each person's different here,
Most definitely.
it feels like, you know, it closes that face a little extra for me,
Yeah.
which leaves me in a position that's uncomfortable.
All right. So we're going to go to our neutral grip here.
Neutral grip. Awesome. So I'll be taking my lead hand. And again, you don't want to show too much, but you're not going to show not enough here. So you're going to have about a knuckle on your lead hand and then another knuckle on your trail hand here.
Very, very nice. The sound of that contact was even better than that first one. What did you think about the grip, though?
I'm a big fan of the neutral. I like keeping things, you know, neutral because there's not much manipulation being thrown in there, and the chances of error are a little slimmer for me personally.
Very nice. Now, Coach Arnie, for our last one here, we're going to go with our strong grip, or sorry, our weak grip here. So let's go ahead and see it.
Absolutely. My lead hand on this weak grip here, I'm going to be seeing maybe a half knuckle to no knuckle at all. So I'm going to have more of my palm facing up towards me here. Then I'm going to take my my trail hand. I'm going to place it over where I'm seeing now about 2 knuckles to maybe 2.5 if I'm lucky here.
Just like we thought. That was a fade right there. Maybe a little more than normal. Once again, just like for level 1 and 2, when we went to the grip that we may not like the most, our shot kind of got affected with it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's why, folks at home, the grip is so important, because if you have the wrong grip, we just saw what happens, right? You kind
Results
of
aren't
bend
great.
it, went super far right. Arnie, tell me about it.
You know, just like you said, the results weren't great, but it didn't feel great for me either.
Yeah.
It felt, you know, it felt like I wasn't able to actually grip the club.
Right.
It was too much fingers up here, and it felt like the club was slipping from both hands, even with the glove on.
Okay. Very nice. So, which grip did you like the most?
I definitely like the neutral the most.
Neutral the most. So, for folks at home, Arnie liked the neutral the most, which is going to be probably the one that most people are going to use consistently, right?
I would say so, yeah.
We're going to figure out at practice what grip each junior likes the most. And from there, we want the juniors to continue to use that grip in practice and while they're out on course doing their 9-hole events. So hopefully they're able to pass and move up to the next level. Arnie, any final words for the folks at home?
You know, just like Justin said himself, you have to find your own grip. You know, there's no right answer for each individual, and trial and error is the best way to go around it. And we're excited for this week to come here and see you guys and test out all these grips.
Very nice. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we're looking forward to seeing you at practice. Have a wonderful rest of your day.